Good morning, family. Addict named Kent. By God's grace, I am still here. By God's grace, I now have 22 years clean experience. This morning, I'm going to share my experience, strength, and hope. My life in addiction and how I was rescued from it. So, I begin. At the age of 18, I was raised in a Christian home. I was raised to love the Bible and the holier than thou, judgmental God that if I do anything wrong, a lightning bolt is going to come down and strike me dead. That's the way I was raised. I went to church every Sunday without fail. I went to school with a shirt and tie on. I got ridiculed and laughed at and mocked at and made fun of. Cigarette butts thrown on me, jackets burned, caught on fire because I was a Christian. Because they thought that I was better than them. So at the age of 18, I turned away from everything God. And by the age of 20, I went into Satan worship. I went into idolatry and witchcraft and turned everything around. And I went toward everything. I renounced God because I became a warlock. I had to renounce God. That's where my life turned a corner. And I started getting involved in drugs. At first, it was just drinking. Nothing real major, nothing really bad. Then I got introduced to pot, and it was laced with something, and it was a trip I'm never going to forget. And I always spent my life in addiction, chasing that high. I wanted that high back again. I tried anything I could to get that high. Nothing gave me that high. And I spent and I lived that life from the age of 20 until the age of 30. When after attempting suicide 8 separate times, 8 different ways I tried to die. I slashed my wrist one way. I took pills 7 separate times and tried to take my life. And each time God brought me back from the brink of disaster. The last time, I almost ended up dead. Because those of you in nursing know that before you die, you relieve yourself bodily. Your body releases all the toxins in the body. That's the point that I was at the last time. And God woke me from that sleep. Now, I barely made it to the bathroom. I broke the shower curtain, tore the toilet paper dispenser off the wall, the towel rack off the wall, and I woke up my roommate, the man I was staying with, the man and his girlfriend that I was staying with. And he said, what's the matter, Kent? I was crawling back to the bedroom. I didn't say nothing. He looked at my bottle of pills, nerve pills, and there was 5 in it. So where's the pills, Kent? I just got the prescription the day before. You see, I've been partying from the 26th until the 1st of April. All that time. partying for my 30th birthday. You see, I wanted to go out with a bang. I didn't have a gun, so I couldn't do it that way. So I took 40 pills. I passed out. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up in the hospital, drinking the black chalk after they pump my stomach. I sit there and argue with the nurse for half an hour that I didn't attempt suicide. Well, you and I both know what I did. Okay? I tried to die. So, I walked from there in to Alcoholics Anonymous. And I shared my experience. And I got looks from the old timers. You know, you don't belong here. But a very wise man who used to do both took me under his wing and took me to his 30th birthday party. And I shared in his 30th birthday party. And I'm thinking to myself, 30 years? I'm 30 years old and you got 30 years? You see, I couldn't even fathom that because I just come out of the hospital. You know, I couldn't understand that. But he showed me that there's a new way to life. And I don't have to live that way anymore. You know? I don't have to live in a drug-infested world. I don't have to do that. So he took me under his wing and taught me how to do the steps. I did those steps. And I learned what it is to learn who Kent is. Over the years, I've been to Narcotics Anonymous many times. I've done service work in almost every aspect of Narcotics Anonymous. But Narcotics Anonymous is not where it is for me. I go to it because I like to help those who are suffering, because that's my calling, to help those that suffer with addiction. Well, if you're like me and you need recovery, I have recovery programs that are offered in our pages. How I found God and my way back to God is through the steps. And I learned that God is not that God that I was raised with in Sunday school. You see, the two men who created Narcotics Anonymous were members of Alcoholics Anonymous and were not welcome there because of their drug addiction. So they chose to start Narcotics Anonymous. Narcotics Anonymous is based on a lot of what AA is based on. There's a few words changed here and there, but we know that it's the same program. Let me help you. Whether you're in a place where you have lots of meetings or you're in a place where you have no meetings, I can be of help to you because I sit in front of you by the grace of God with 22 years experience. It's nothing I did. All I did was learn to give it over and turn it over. That's all I learned to do. It is that simple to do. May the Lord bless and keep you until we meet again.